Jeff, do you have any indication of whether they think that's a serious injury with Olu, something that's day-to-day, anything like that?
In all honesty, I have no new information other than what we had last night. So they're just they're collecting it this morning. I should have an update here pretty soon.
And it's his foot, right?
Foot. That's what it was. That's you know, without the scans, with all the images in, you know, it's hard to tell. But definitely the foot last night or yesterday.
So he's going for an MRI today, or has gone?
Yeah, they're going to get all the scans they need to get a picture of it, just to make sure they know exactly what we're dealing with.
How
Aaron?
How close?
Aaron came out afterwards, said his knee was a little banged up. Is he receiving any scans or medical attention today?
I have not been told either way this morning of any of that.
How close was Quinn yesterday, Jeff? And what do you think about this week for him?
Yeah, I thought there was a chance leading up to the pregame. It was still a little bit too tight. Didn't want to put it in harm's way at all. But I think there's a chance this week. You know, Quinnen's one of those rare guys that, like, for one, his body heals faster than most, and two, he's got this internal drive to go out there and play and play for his teammates. So he's a guy I won't ever count out until he tells me so.
Jeff, we asked you yesterday about Garrett, and you said, you know, you got to look at the film. Like, when you went back and looked, did you see that there were more opportunities for him to get the ball?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we got to find ways to get Garrett the ball more often. He's one of the best players on our team, if not one of the best players in this league, especially at his position. So the progression, you know, for a lot of different reasons, from a coverage standpoint, took him off Garrett. But at the same time, we got to find ways to get him the ball, for sure.
When you have a player as good as he is, who is very obviously frustrated, I mean, he's made that pretty apparent over the last couple of weeks. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, just got to keep manufacturing looks and touches and targets for him. You have to, you know, and putting him first in progression as often as we can, and ultimately try and find ways to get him open, get the ball, you know. But guys are all right. He absolutely is a guy that we need to find ways to get the ball more often too.
Not so much from an X's and O's perspective, but just more on the human level, like talking to Garrett. And do you talk to him about that, or try to, you know, ease his frustration, or like just on a one-on-one level?
Yeah, I think if you weren't frustrated, I think that would bother me, you know, to an extent. I think he's just one of those ultimate competitors that wants the ball, not for selfish reasons, just from the standpoint he knows he can help our team win if he does have the ball in his hands. So from that standpoint, of course, there's going to be a little bit of frustration just when we lose, because he always feels like he's the guy that can win the game for us. So, you know, I think, you know, especially to this point, I think he's utilized that frustration to really push himself to be better in every single way, you know, and as long as he continues to use that as motivation, it can be a positive.
Jeff, if I could go back to Olu for a second, did you, can you just, we saw him on crutches, which seems to indicate, at least to us, that it's serious. So can you just big picture what kind of rookie year he's had? We don't know if it's the end, obviously, but what kind of rookie year he's had, and what kind of encouragement it is for the Jets organization going forward that you might have a guy there for the future?
I absolutely, you know, believe that Olu's the left tackle for the New York Jets for a long, long time. He has demonstrated that. For a rookie to come in and play as he has, it's astounding. It's unique. You don't see it very often. Not just at the left tackle spot. You know, he showed the ability to be versatile across the board at the guard spot, right tackle spot, et cetera. So excited about his future. He's a guy that I know people like to throw this around way too often. He's a 10-year guy, but he is. You know, he has all of it. He's got the mental, emotional makeup plus the physical tools. So excited about his future.
Anything else for Coach?
If someone told you you wouldn't have to punt once in a game, and you know you'd hold a team to 19 points, you'd probably like your chances, I would guess.
Yeah, it was. It's an interesting game in a lot of different ways. You know, whether the score, the time management. There was a lot of things in the game that really cool learning experience for me. And you know, obviously didn't get it done, so it's not good enough from that standpoint. But there was a lot of really powerful learning for me and for this team in this game.
I just wanted to ask about one. One specific play, Jeff, the 4th and 1 where you went for it in your own territory.
Yep.
Went back and watched that. I mean, Brees really didn't have a chance because the guy with the linebacker, I think it was Speed, was unblocked. So in a short yardage situation, how does that happen? How does a linebacker go completely unblocked?
It absolutely a mistake by us. So not good enough, and we need to get him blocked. Schematically, he was accounted for. We just we didn't get it done in a critical moment.
So that's a player missing assignment.
That one was for sure, but like that's me not passing the blame on to the players at all. This is a shared blame, as we all know. Like we all had a piece in this loss, just like we all had a piece in the win last week. So that's a collective thing that we got to be better. Ultimately, we didn't get it done. We didn't win the game, and that's what we get paid to do. So we fell short.
We'll take a few more for Coach.
The old cliche is, people don't always realize special teams is a third of the game. How much headaches has the kicking game caused you this year?
Yeah, Brant Boyer is one of the best coaches I've ever been around in my life, and he has such a high standard that these guys have consistently played to over the course of his tenure with the Jets. He does an amazing job with that group. But I think we'd all agree that we have not played to our standard in that phase, and we've had moments where we played really well and we made game-changing plays and momentum-changing plays, and there was times where we didn't get it done. So it's a place we got to improve.
If you make that field goal with 2 minutes,
Carlson at kicker, Jeff?
What's that? Excuse me?
Are you going to stick with Carlson at kicker, or are you guys going to look to maybe bring somebody in?
The next couple of days, we're gonna talk about it. We had a long talk about it this morning, so we'll make a decision probably this afternoon about the decision with the direction we want to go.
Yeah, I know you don't like to criticize players publicly. I understand that, respect that. With Corley, I think everyone's just trying to understand. Like, he was active yesterday, but didn't play. He's always been active a lot. Is there something he has to do? Because clearly, there's something there where he's not getting on the field. Is there something he has to do to break through with you guys and get chances here in the last 2 weeks?
First of all, I'd like to say there's been a ton of growth from just an approach standpoint this year. The guy that came here initially is different than the guy that we see today, becoming so much of a pro in his process and just how he prepares for the game. So that has been major improvement in maturity, but at the same time, still got a ways to go. Still got a ways to go from an offensive perspective, and as we all know, if you're going to be the fourth receiver, because the talent within that room, you got to find a significant role on special teams. So we got to consistently find ways to get better on offense, and consistently find ways to carve out a larger role on special teams.
Last one here for Coach.
With about 30 seconds left, first half, Jeff, you guys got to delay a game.
Say it again?
Why? Yeah, with like 30 seconds left in this first half, you took a delay game, but you had some timeouts. Why didn't anyone call a timeout there to stop the clock?
That is one of the time management things I wish I had back, for sure. That was in a moment where we were discussing something that was upcoming. Should have been on it. I wasn't. Now, fortunately, Aaron converted the 4th and 11 or the 3rd and 11, so it ended up being a moot point. But that's one where I definitely could have helped us on the clock. It's the one I wish I could have had back.